Hello, hello, chat. How we all doing today? Pull that down. Gonna turn that up. Game should pop up any moment. There he goes. Hello, chat. It is Monday. It is the first week of March. We are already in March of this year. Feels about right. It is Women's History Month. So, shout out NW Women. And today, February was like 2 days long. If February felt a little bit short and a little bit long at the same time. But yeah, so anyways, though, before we begin, thank you for all the stream streaks. Also, it says thank you for the 100 bits. I'm gonna so sorry butcher your name because I've been trying to figure out how to say it correctly. And if you want to like space it out in pronunciation in chat, so I know next time, that'd be great. But uh Chakrongo or Shakriongo? Again, like I said, I'm sorry. I'm butchering that name probably, and I know that. I apologize. But thank you for the resub for 3 months now, or with a total of 4. And neither nor thank you for the resub now for 4 months. And Fatal, thank you for the resub for 3 months at tier 2 with a total of 4 now. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, chat. Yeah, as of today, just shorten the cha. Oh, just shorten it to cha. Okay, that'll work. Cha I can say. But today, chat, we are gonna run back into MCC Island Parkour because it is a new month, which means new parkour courses, brand new set of parkour courses, and then after we'll probably, if we feel like it, we'll probably try to finish off the Pale Oak biome in Extraction Season 2 by placing down the grass and such around that map area. There's like a way to end and dial downstream. Is using last month? Well, that's nice at least. But yeah, no, chat, over the weekend, I've been planning something. Hold on. Extraction was fun. It's definitely going to get a big improvement, a quality of life stuff for Extraction. I'm gonna fall there. With the having the locator bar allow you to locate where your nearest extraction point is instead of trying to memorize where things are on the map. Because let me tell you, I cannot find a single extraction point. Well, yeah, no, I've been working on a little project that I'm not gonna say what it is, but there is a time frame for it, and it should release and be showcased end of Q1, beginning of Q2 of this year. So around that time. YLV, thank you for the resub now after 3 months. I appreciate it. But I'm not going to say what it is. It's something for the channel. I'll say that much. But I think y'all will like it. God, super hard names to pronounce. Sometimes it's just letters. Penny Planetary, yeah. Pretty easy to say. A little bit of a tongue twister. Oh. And Daybreaking Tree just continued their sub from a Prime to a Tier 1, so thank you for that. Thank you for continuing your sub. But yeah, chat. Besides that, I've been working on some other stuff. Also, we have a rough date on when... Oh, I just didn't press space. Okay. Hold on, wait. And now go. But we have a rough day of when I can move rooms over and basically get a new setup for my stream stuff. So which should be fun, because the thing is, right, chat? One of the, like, reasons when I don't, like, do face cam often and such is because there's not much of a background. And, like, I can't really showcase anything, because just like my bed and such. Right. And I don't really do a lot of different things, but because of the room... Oh, hold on. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, go. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C... Okay. Hold on. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. That was A, B, C, D, E, F? No. F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay. F, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, I'm jumping too soon, that's why. There we go. I was jumping too soon. Like, my whole bed, I just have one little, like, floor. There's nothing really shelving-wise, so... Because everything's to my left of my, of my setup of, like, where I have all my stuff. But, with new room, that means I can then have shelves and, like, hang up some posters and other stuff. Like, on the back drop, I could hang up, like, artwork of, like, SMPs that I've been a part of. And just make it more fun and personalized for a proper, like, streaming workspace area. Which will be fun. Also means that, like, if I want to do funny bits, right? Like, if I want to do full, like, full standing bits, I'll have the space to do the funny bit. Right? I could do the thing without ramming my foot into my bed or something. Which would be fun. Dance Dance Revolution stream. Now we just, like, figure out a way to get a Wii working, and then we just throw up some, like, early 2013 Just Dance on the Wii. That still works in multiple Just Dance games. Yeah, no, Jeff. So that's what I've been working on. So I have some fun things coming up. I will say we also, like, I don't know, not for sale, by the way. Yeah, I might also, like, if I get my setup all, like, done and I need to still build the shelving and whatnot, I might like just do a just chatting stream where it's just me in the empty room. And I just chat and build the furniture on stream. That might be something, it might not. I haven't thought if I'm going to do that yet. Put it up. But yeah, the other benefit, right, chat, is what is it? Oh, I fell. If I switch into this room, it will be my workspace / office space, not just my room. And so, because of that, I can try to turn it into a proper studio, which means I can improve the sound, like the sound reverb and the acoustics of the room, which is a good thing, because then it means I can be louder. Well, if I was doing voice acting, I would basically just make a studio in like the closet of the room, because that has the best, like, weirdly enough, being in a closet and setting up a little like microphone and stuff in that room, in like a closet space, is actually really good for home studio. No, so you still have the keyboard ASMR. What I'm saying though is if I'm able to keep all the noise inside the room, it means I can be louder. Which then means if my like parents are home and they're on like a meeting or nothing, I don't have to worry about being too loud for everybody in the house to hear. Or it will be quieter for them to hear. So like, for example, right, chat? Take Vampires SMP. We were doing recordings at like 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning because of time zones for me. Right? They were early because we had to take into account the Europeans, the Australians, and the Americans, so on and so forth. Right? So everybody had different time zone, time scheduling, so on and so forth. So what also happened because of that, though, is I'm up early enough to where I know my parents are still asleep or, like, just starting their day. So if you hear my voice in Vampires SMP, it's a lot more quiet and a lot lower in tone. And that is because I'm trying not to wake up my family and my household. Which, it played to the character, so it was fine. But it was one of the reasons of why my character was so quiet, was because I wasn't trying to wake up my house. Oh, dang it. That's gonna be annoying. But yeah. So if I can, like, properly soundproof the door and work on the acoustic reverb and such in that room. I jumped too early. It was on purpose. I mean, it made for the character, but at the same time, it wasn't really. Also, I need to figure out how my mic starts putting me at like an autotone. Not autotone, monotone. I combined autotune and monotone together. In a way where it's like my voice, I still fluctuate my tones in my sounding. And I sound different than what the mic always picks up. So I still need to figure out how to fix that. So I don't know how and when, but I need to figure that out. And I think doing it in that room will be better. Like once or twice back. Well, that's the thing. So one, being in my room is not sound designed for stuff. Like I have not put up any soundproofing in my room whatsoever. And so whenever I'm loud, whenever I raise my voice, my house can hear it. Cat redeem? Alright, well y'all will get a photo of Jax on the Discord later today. And so, because of that, anytime I raise my voice, in any way, shape, or form, it can be heard throughout my house. And so that's why my voice doesn't get... You sometimes get some yells, but again, it's not trying too much, right? Like, I'm not trying to be loud because then it disrupts everyone else in the household. Yeah, so here's a fun fact. Fun fact, chat. Me yelling when I ran out of my room because I pulled the Technoblade card is because nobody was home. And so I know I was in the clear to yell. Yeah, I didn't really crash out in episode 5 because, again, it was super early in the morning and I didn't want to scream at the top of my lungs about being mad. At that. Yeah, other thing with that. Because I was so quiet in that crash out, here's a little behind the scenes recording. I basically just read what I wanted to say in like just a normal talking voice, and then in post-production I read in my voice lines when I wasn't as tired and quiet and when my parents were all up. This was during Vampires. So I redid the lines of my crash out because I wanted something just to show that there was some form of anger. But yeah, no, like, if you want to know like how it basically sounded, it was like, these stupid, darn, dumb, idiot townsfolk. Like, I was just so monotone and whispering it just so I know what I wanted to say. Did they care so little about all... Like, this is how I was sounding. I was, like, basically like this the entire time. And so, again, that's why I'm like, I gotta redo this to actually make it sound normal. Wait, possible? Yeah. So, that... I keep always jumping too early on that last one. And all the vampires because of that moment? Yep. I want it to be a good moment, and so I basically re-recorded all the lines. But yeah, no. So if I do get the ability to like add a bit of soundproofing up against the door and such to where the noise isn't as loud coming through it, I will then talk louder. It's like I'm just talking in my normal talking voice now at this point. So like this is fine. But my microphone for some reason also doesn't interpret a lot of the change for some reason, and I don't know why. So gotta figure that out still. Yeah, that's the thing. There isn't really. I don't really have any sound compression on my mic now, and it still just sounds a little odd. Did not pay attention when I did that. But again, jumping. I keep jamming instead of one ticking, and it's causing problems for me. There we go. What to draw on people is hard. It's always fun to do organics. One thing that you can always sketch for fun, maybe a new mic. I don't think I need a new mic. I think I just need to adjust the settings on it. If you can never, if you always struggle with like people and such, one thing that I enjoy is that you can just sketch out the environment slash scene that took place, and never the action, and don't put the people in it, because at that point you're just drawing the landscape slash moment without worrying about the people, and it's really nice. Wait, you also draw? I sketch, I don't really draw. It's one of the reasons that like why I can go into like Photoshop and or other like applications, and that way I can like write out words decently and with just a mouse. It's because I've just drew on it in those applications. I have an old I don't have it set up, but I have like an old drawing tablet that I would use when I was like sketching out rough logos and such for people. Here, here, there, done. Here, here, there, done. Here, here, there, done. And there, done. Cool. Under 5 minutes, I'll take it. Nothing crazy, but it is something. Overjumped. Bup, bup, bup. Chat, I've been getting the itch to start buying more Pokemon cards again, especially after the Pokemon Direct. And I'm now, like, eyeing at other promo/collection cards. And I'm like, do I want to pay the money on these cards? Because they aren't, like, incredibly expensive, but at the same time, like, do I want to pay the money? No, it's not for the... I'm buying older pack cards, so, like, the 25th anniversary. Like, I bought the Dark Sylveon card, but now I'm looking at other cards from the 25th anniversary. I'm like, do I want to buy the Zekrom and Reshiram 25th anniversary cards? The 30th pack hasn't come out yet. Tuesday, I learned how to play the TCG for the first time at TwitchCon San Diego. There is no list for the 30th yet. And that's why I'm like, do I buy the 25th anniversary cards now before the 30th list drops? Because I ain't buying the 30th list cards unless I actually buy the packs. Because I know those things are going to be at a very high market price for no apparent reason. And so I'm like, do I buy it now before the card prices go up because the 30th anniversary packs drop? Or do I wait? See, that's the part that I'm trying to think about. I'm like, Where shall we go down? Well, there's a difference, though. So, they aren't normal reprints. Cherry Fire. Hello, Cherry Fire Raiders. We're talking about Pokemon right now, while doing parkour. Hope you all had a great time on Banner Falls. I was watching y'all for a bit fight the Creaking Dungeon. But thank you for the raid. Hope you had a wonderful stream. Hello, Raiders. If you don't know who I am, I'm Abolish Regret. Play a lot of Minecraft content, and right now we're on MCC Island doing parkour and talking about Pokemon cards. But as I was saying, the thing with the difference between the celebration sets and the normal cards is the promo celebration cards will have a like sticker or something that indicates that it is separate from the original reprint. And so collectors sometimes will boost the old card prices of those reprinted cards because now it is a separate card and it's not a reprint because it has a separate distinction on the card compared to it. And so, like, if you don't care about the actual old card and you just want the card art, there's that. But the difference, though... I haven't watched notes. Is that it will change. And so, like, the 25th has a 25th, like, sticker on it. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, though, sometimes they aren't going to always reprint the same cards. So, like, I don't think they're going to reprint the Reshiram/Sekrom card. Because those are already printed in 25th anniversary. And so I want the 25th anniversary ones just because I just like the card art. And so that's why I'm like, do I not? I don't know. Because I've bought... Because on its way right now is a Dark Sylveon card, which, by the way, chat, if you've not seen it, if you look up Dark Sylveon, lovely card. And I also bought the Charcadet promo card. Two different cards. And so that's why I am like, don't go that way. Actually, do go this way. It's right. But yeah, now, the Dark Sylveon card I wanted really badly because of the fact that it's based off of the Dark set. So what Pokemon sometimes does is they will take art designs from old Pokemon sets and reprint it onto newer Pokemon / cards. Right? So, for example, the Dark cards came from, I think, Diamond and Pearl and Platinum of Team Galactic, I believe. Actually, no. Came from Team Rocket, because there was an old thing of Dark cards. Because I remember I still have some in a binder. And so they did a Sylveon art of, like, an evil version of Sylveon. Which basically just means that they took the art and made it a bit more, like, spooky. / with the shadowing and whatnot. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Dark Sylveon V. Yeah, this, hold on. Windowed. Yep, this. Cool. Yep. So this is the artwork for the Dark Sylveon card. And that's what I mean by it has, like, a sticker. Not every celebration pack has one, but the 25th one did this. But you see how it's still Sylveon, but it has, like, this darker, like, almost Twilight feel to it. But it's in the design. And different typing. Yep, Psychic. It's because of instead of Fairy. But yeah, no. So, really cool card. Really cool card art. How does the original work? It's so there is no Dark Sylveon. There, like, if the closest thing you'd probably find, right, is a Sylveon V card, which is also a Psychic type because there is no, like, proper Fairy, but there isn't a version of that card. The closest thing that you can get would be something like this from hold on, I need to see if I can find one that's as close as possible. Yeah, because there is no card that's opposite of this card. So there's a Sylveon V card, but it has 200 HPs from the Rapid Strike collection, and the moves are entirely different. And so that's why, like, this is the only version of the Sylveon art / card. There is no, like, same art concept, but without the dark type and such. So, like, that's what I was saying. They take old art styles and art card concepts, like the dark that was from Pokemon Team Rocket, and they added to new Pokemon, which is really cool. And so, like, I got that card because I'm like, this is a really cool art card, and I want to, like, use it. And so, if I like a card, especially for its art, and it's at a doable price, I'm like, I'll pay for it. Because I think I bought that card, the Sylveon Dark card, for like $6. It's not an expensive card. To go with them? No, they just act like, they might, but, like, even normal support items work with them. don't know anything about U species. But yeah, so like that's the thing. Like I'll look at a card price, I'm like, this is $6. It's nice art. I'm gonna enjoy having this card. So I'll pay for it. Like that's my concept. If a card has good looking art on it, and I'm like, I'd want this card in my collection, and it doesn't have an outrageous pricing, I'm like, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's basically my thought process right now with the Zekrom and Reshiram cards. Is I'm like, do I want to buy these two collection cards? Because like there are versions of Zekrom and Reshiram that are like that are in those same card art styles, just without the sticker on the side. What price are the expensive ones sold at? Pokemon cards arranged in everything. So you have ungraded cards, and then they can be graded up to a like quote unquote PSA 10, which basically makes it they are flawless in condition, and you can sell it for way more money. So, for example, though, some ungraded cards can cost at like $350 for one card. Some cards that are extremely rare that are also PSA 10 sold for like 1.4 million. The thing is, realistically, the card has no actual monetary value. It is what the community and what the fandom puts the value of those cards at. Yes, because people buy it and it becomes an asset that they can then resell in the future because of how strong the Pokemon community is that will most likely continue to push it forwards. Pokemon is 30 years old, right? Like, it has a very, very loyal fan base, and it continues to create artwork and such, and it sells so much. I want to actually see something. How much money did Pokemon TCG make in 2025? So, let's. How much did Pokemon Nintendo make in 2025? Okay, so for the fiscal year ending February 28, 2025, the Pokemon Company achieved a record-breaking result with net sales reaching $411 billion yen, which is approximately $2.9 billion USD, a 38.1% increase year over year, with operating profits also rose to 700 million USD. And that is in the combination of their Pokemon cards, the physical cards, Pokemon Pocket, the mobile, the Nintendo games, and everything else Pokemon does. Pokemon has a very, very strong fan base. Pokemon is one of the highest grossing video game franchises, yes, but it also has one of the lowest lowest development costs compared to any game, which is crazy. Hold on. Let me do this one real quick, and if I fail, I'll then show you a comparison real quickly. Yeah, Pokemon is the ambassadors in Japan because of how much they do. Uh, For water, select towns, nature reserves. Yep. It's like, you can. Like, the thing is, right, if you want to buy a pack just to have the fun feel of opening a pack, go for a pack. But if there's ever a card that you really like from, like, a recent set, and you're like, oh, that's really nice artwork, and I really like this Pokemon, so on and so forth, right? Like, if you have a favorite Pokemon, and it has some nice artwork to it, it's always cheaper to buy the card itself than trying to play your luck buying a pack if it's still being produced, and then trying to open up the card. Because trust me when I say this, Pokemon packs, odds and rates for, like, illustration cards and special illustration cards is a lot lower than what MCC has for their cards. There's Pokemon TCG Pocket, yeah. There's also Pokemon TCG Pocket where basically you can just open packs for free online and you get virtual cards. You collect them, right? Yeah, you just collect them. You don't have to. You don't need to know how to play. You can only just collect the cards, put them in just a nice little safe area in a binder and in sleeves, and then just call it a day. Like, that's what a lot of people do. They just collect the cards. And then sometimes some people will collect the cards, and if they have duplicates, they'll sell them. And basically because of the market value that they sell them at, they can make profit, and people do that, and which then turns into some people being scalpers. But some people just to say they collect the cards. Like, I am a big nerd, so I enjoy a lot of Pokemon, and did we already do this one? Yes, we did. Okay. And other stuff like that, so collecting, you can just collect them, you can trade them, you can invest in them, you can sell them, you can pretty much do whatever you want with Pokemon cards. Very cool. Alright. But I was gonna say something, so, like, look at this. Did it cost to make Breath of the Wild? So, for context, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, had a development budget of $100 to $120 million USD. All right, keep that in mind. Pokemon. Also, Astro, thank you for the reset for 4 months. I appreciate that. Pokemon for Legend ZA, right? If you even want to go even less than that, go like Scarlet and Violet. Hold on. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is much more closer to a Pokemon game, only costed 20 million USD. And then thank you for the tier 1 for 30 months now. My goodness, that's crazy. So, Legend of Zelda, 100 to 120 million dollars. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is just 20 million. And then Legend ZA was only 10 to 12 million dollars. So their development cost for Pokemon is so minuscule that they have such high profit margins because of it. And it's rumored that with the improvements in wind and water, they are roughly putting out a minimum 20 million into Pokemon's next. Alright, see you technically. Into its next development. So like, and the graphics in the new engine design for Pokemon Wind and Water look wonderful. It's like, that's the thing. What did Nom do everything? It's quite interesting. That if Pokemon actually took a lot of time development into making their game, with how much development costs they technically could put into it, you would have a totally different looking game than what is normal. But Wind and Water looks promising because they improved a lot of the graphical design based off what they showcased so far, compared to Legend of ZA. Astronomically compared to Legends of ZA. we kill Nominal Gravy. It's actually crazy that you've decided to make your Twitch name just we kill Nominal Gravy. To be crisp. From what the graphics look like, it was good. Someone was telling me about... I saw a video that basically someone's saying the shadow engine that they're using that creates the lighting in the shadows for that game isn't just stagnant, but it actually adapts to reflections and the movement of Pokemon. Just to have this name. You know what? Fair enough. What is it? The Gecko starter Pokemon. Gekwa, I believe what's the Pokemon was called. If you look at the short video of Gekwa, like, moving up and down near the, like, how it, like, bounces, or, like, pulses, the shadow under its belly and on the ground darkens the closer it is to the ground, and then lightens as it gets farther away. And that happens in real life. When you have something closer to the ground, the shadow gets darker. But when it pulls away, yeah. But when it pulls away, the shadow gets lighter. Because there's less surface area blocking out the sun. Also, of course, thank you for the resub at tier 1 for one with that tier 3 for 4 months now. I appreciate the tier 3, my goodness. You didn't have to do that. Well, thank you very much. But yeah, so there's also something where, like, with Tropius, Tropius has its grass leaf wings, right? And you can see reflection shadows on the bottom of the wings because it's the shadows from the other plants that are basically allowing only certain light to hit it. So it's gonna be, I think, a very crisp game if they keep development as it is. But we'll have to see, of course, when the game gets released. That was not the right way. Okay, that works. Well, so the footage that we saw was based on not the actual game, but things in the game resources, but it's still to be developed. Daybreaking, I have thought about that. I have thought about doing a Pokemon stream and doing the Pokemon playthrough. Don't know when. Don't know what game. Maybe the next one that comes out. Maybe I get a Switch 2 and I purchase the Pokemon Wind and Water. And we do a playthrough of it. But that's not until 2027. So we have some time. Nope. Bup, 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 bup. But yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking just because I've been getting the itch for Pokemon stuff, so I thought about doing Pokemon streams here and there. So I know. I also thought about doing a randomized Nuzlocke, but I have no idea how to get a proper emulator with a randomizer onto my PC. What's my favorite Pokemon game / generation? I basically played up until Black and White 2. And then at that point I stopped playing so much and just watched the games more. But one of my favorite games had to be Pokemon Platinum. If you found one, I'll maybe ask Zaid if he has. I am just throwing on this right now. There we go. I'm just gonna go up. Ah, dang it, I jumped too soon. There you go, cool. Yeah, don't know yet. Do not know yet. Because I think it would be fun to break up the Minecraft streams with a little bit of Pokemon here and there. Especially doing like a Pokemon Nuzlocke. And a randomized Nuzlocke to that. Oh, it's this one. Oh, okay, at least it's not the iron bars, so it's not as terrible, but my goodness. Who's ready for some 4-block jumps? Yippee! I hate doing those. It's not as bad. Oh. Hello, Zaid. Speaking of Zaid, thank you for the 18 months. Also, do you know any good emulators that can play Pokemon? Pokemon emulator. Do you know any? Nerdy mentioned your name saying you were looking for one. So if you have no idea what I am talking about, blame Nerdy. Of course it was. We were talking on Pokemon. I basically was like, I want to play like a Nuzlocke, randomized Nuzlocke. I don't know any good emulators slash randomizers to play. And then Nerdy goes, I remember Zaid, I think, mentioned about looking for an emulator, but I don't know if he found one yet or not. And so I said, maybe I'll ask him next time. And then you popped up. So, like I said, blame Nerdy. You accuse me of so much. You literally said it. It's an entire VOD of you saying that you did it on screen with chat. It's not like I'm making a blatant excuse. I literally have the clip. It's called my entire stream. Right now, no, unfortunately. Your best bet is to do it the old-fashioned way with a handheld console and the capture card. See, that's not gonna work, though. Unfortunately, capture card and that ain't gonna work for me. But it was a conversation that Zayd and I had. Don't need to accuse me of spreading lies. That's not you. But as for an emulator, I haven't really looked into that as much. Yeah, that's the thing. I need to find an emulator because I need to basically, if I want to stream it and have it just easily connected to my PC, I just need it'd be easier to stream it through an emulator with OBS. And so that's why I'm like, now what do I do? Dude, that's the thing I'm trying to figure out, chat. That's the part that I'm trying to figure out. I jumped too early. Also, chat, a little bit off topic from Pokemon, though. I find it funny that even though I'm not on Bannerfall, I am somehow just on Bannerfall in spirit through the actions of 4C and May. The wrong way. Hold on. Anything those two do, whether it's like building or something, I'll throw in an idea in there, and they're like, "I like this idea. We're gonna incorporate this idea into the build." When you're not there, no. Right. Like for the most part, right? I'm not clipping you for 30. I find it very, very funny that anytime I'm watching a 4C stream or a Nom stream, or even a May stream, those three, I will basically be like, I'll get an idea, and since I can't test it myself, I'll throw it into chat. And anytime I mention the idea of like, could this work? Would this maybe break the game? They all go, well, let's find out and see, and they just try it. I basically live through them and their actions in Bannerfall, and it's very funny. And now that the rogue, let's see what happens. Yep. It's also gotten to the point where, because of Shan being able to switch between different skins on Bannerfall, the whole joke of me Lagundo placing down the bamboo and them going, it was abolished, guys. It was abolished the entire time, that placed bamboo. At this point, anything they do wrong, they just now have a way out and just say they can blame me for it. Scott's Bannerfall animatic? That was a good Bannerfall animatic. It was good. That was a really good thing. Like his ideas and other news for found in next to plate. Might be used to eat. No. No, I think I did that wrong. Go here, and then there, and then... Oh, I need to jump sooner. Jump. Jump. Run this way. Oh, okay, so it's on that same timing. Why'd I go this way? Jump to here, jump to there, jump to there, jump to there, jump to there. There we go. Blame nerdy, now blame abolish. Literally, it's always just blame abolish on something. Server somehow broke, blame abolish. Server somehow found a bug exploit, blame abolish. Someone did a build idea that wasn't natural, probably an abolish idea. Okay, this, chat, this is the stupid, difficult, hard level that I told you all about that was on one of the parkours for the daily. This. So basically, right, there is... It is like multiple setups We're gonna be here for a while, by the way. It is multiple setups on stuff that you do basically just weird neos to jump around. You then do a... Hold on, I need to find the right way. I think it's there. Yep. You then do that. You then set that up. You then neo to there. You then do a neo one block back up. Hold on. So it's there to there to here to then up to there, then across. So it's here to here, and then you have this. This slab right here basically bonks your head, so you have to jump too soon, but if you don't jump at the right angle, it basically means you're going to hit your head or you're going to make it short. And so I've been trying to figure out the lineup of going off this back wall and just trying to do that. You have to flip this trap door as well for some of it to make it through. Because if you don't flip that trap door, there is a way to land it, but it's way more difficult. So everyone just is flipping that trap door so they land on a block that lets them just bounce up. So we have to flip that trap door because it basically allows the player to then jump up there. It is extremely annoying. Where have I heard this song before? This is someone's YouTube channel. But from whose and where's? Not like there are parts that are taken out, but the beat repeating in the song is like the drums and the drum and the little like hi-hat noise. There, I turned it up on your guys' side. Yeah, I don't know where it's from, but I'm trying to remember. Gosh dang it. I need to jump sooner, or I just need to walk back around. Yep. Nope. It's here. There. Okay, Okay, I keep jumping there when I don't need to jump there. There we go. Okay, roughly like one shot at this because I kept messing up there. DS emulators. Zaid, you don't have to find one. I was just curious if you knew if there was one. Come on. Okay, cool. And my spring key didn't want to toggle. There. Also think again. Here to there. And I jumped too soon. Yep, nope. Gotta redo it. This one, we're gonna be here for a bit, chat. We are gonna be here for a bit. It also doesn't help that, like, ending on the third level is just timing stuff. So, like, if you're timing it wrong, it just does not work. For background stuff when writing, I'm glad. Alright, then we go here. Very interesting. Wait, this isn't normal. And oh yeah, when you realize you went into autopilot mode and you're like, and then you start messing up because you've realized you got into autopilot mode. Yep. Do it all the time. Timer of sorts. We probably like another hour and a half, I would say. Okay, cool. I'm gonna redo that because of timing. This one is called Moment of the Unknown. I just typed in bit music genre into Epidemic Sound to just give me an entire list of like related to bit video game stuff. It's just on Epidemic Sound. It's just an entire genre of it. Ugh. I was drinking water there, so I had my hand off my mouse. I am curious though of like how Nox Crew has the parkour, because all this is just automated randomized generation for each of the courses. I want to know if there's like a timer or something like that that would basically determine if it is actually doable to get the course entirely done in under 5 minutes. to complete an expert run. You know what I mean? I'm curious if that actually is a thing. So, well, they don't test every course they upload. All of the parkour is tested to make sure it's doable, but the thing is, courses take different amounts of time to showcase. Game, I made that jump. Jump to here, then jump, and then wait, and then load that in. Okay, so... something isn't right. Like, the timing on this feels off. Yeah, timing on this feels off. Bum, 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 bum. Like, that one always disappears under my feet every single time that I jump for it. There we go. They have testers, yes, but there's a difference between a tester running through every course, because I can tell you right now, I don't think every course is tested, because it's an automated thing. It sets up the course design to make sure the parkour is doable, but I'm saying if every... hypothetically, you can have the hardest parkour for each skill set. You can just say it here if you want. Like, you can have the hardest difficulty for each easy, medium, and hard. But because of that, it would increase the timer. For making it under 5 minutes. And so that's why I'm like... oh my goodness. I think I landed on that even without the trap door? Hold on. But I want to test that just to be sure. We got it, but my goodness. A parkour hideout would be fun just for people to do parkour and jump around on stuff. It just, we would need to... because, like, you can line this up here and then inventory jam to here, which is easy enough. I do it this way, which is not optimized, but that's fine. But if you... what is that? This is the grass thing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.5. You kind of want to line up the crosshair just like here. Oh, I want to make sure. Oh, yeah, it wasn't. Okay. And so 1 tap forwards off the wall, bounce, and at the peak of your jump, that's when you press W. Yeah. So you have to... you always have to hit the trapdoor there. Just to actually consistently make that, because that is just ridiculous parkour. More to Christmas vibes rather than Christmas Adventure. A snowflake banner? Maybe. Possibly. A snowflake banner could work for Christmas Adventure. Bup, bup, bup. Okay, I just missed timing on that. There we go. Oh, it's this one. Cool accidental pun. I also realized that we're in March. That means maybe new MCC this month, maybe? I would like that. There is a new MCC, exactly. There is one confirmed already. Let's go. I didn't see it was confirmed. So, yippee! Isn't it Spellbound? I didn't know. I genuinely did not know. So it's called MCC Spellbound. Oh, okay. That'll be fun. I'm gonna tell you now, probably not, chat. Not gonna be an MCC. Because I most likely would have gotten asked and invited to it. Already, usually when events are organized, they are a lot sooner. Someday, but not anytime soon. I can tell you that. When the convo just got interesting. It's fine, though. Patience is a virtue, chat. If you're always wanting something right then and there, then you miss the progress in the process. Really possible. So know how to set. Oh, I know. Trust me. I've looked into it. I just don't know how. Darn it. But I keep hitting my face on that corner. There you go. Huh. It'll turn out good. It's fine. Drawing's fun. It's not supposed to, like... If you have fun drawing, that's all that matters. Don't worry too much about how the quality's going to turn out or compare it to anybody else. Even if you just start learning how to draw, it's absolutely okay. So the hardest thing, not comparing is one of the hardest things. But if you compare everything you do to somebody else, then you are basically saying that what you do will never be good enough because you are not looking at yourself, you're looking at someone else's work. And comparison is the biggest thief of joy. Exactly. Like, that's, I think, the best part about life, right? Is that you can have no idea how to draw or how to do a hobby or a task or anything like that, right? But just like everybody else that is quote unquote better than you, you can look at everyone that is a professional or is an extremely talented artist or animator or whatever, right? At one point, they were in the exact same spot as you. They weren't as good as drawing certain things. They didn't know how to animate a certain way. They didn't know how to edit a certain style. They didn't know how to do a certain thing, make a certain costume, do whatever, right? But what they did to get better is they were consistent and they kept doing it because they enjoyed it. Because ultimately, them continuously practicing helped them improve. And overall, it made it better. But make it perfect. Take time, don't rush, yeah. Like, you don't need to worry about trying to get something done right away. Like my YouTube video stuff, right? My escape room. Practice makes progress, exactly. My spooky scary escape room stuff, right? Like we had to refilm and reshoot some stuff just because some errors happened, and we had to reschedule. Took longer than I wanted it to, so I'm hopefully getting the video out mid-March, and that's perfectly fine. Like I want my video to turn out how I want it to turn out. I'm not gonna rush through it because I feel like, hey, this is a video that I want it to look good. I want it to do well, and so I'm gonna take my time and do that. Perfection is a lie sold by big self-doubt. Yeah. And trust me when I say this, everyone that you look at that is like doing what you want to do or have stuff like figured out more than you, they still have self-doubt. They still question how good they are. Everybody compares themselves to one another. They compare to themselves. So like, don't fret too much on what someone else is doing, because I guarantee it, they're probably looking at somebody else and being like, man, I wish I was able to do XYZ. Have a more feminine body. Yeah, and that's fine. Don't worry if you're making V Abolish have a more feminine body. That is perfectly okay. But it's off-centered again. That's fine. Because my phone's about to die. Well, that means you gotta go get a charger. It's a yeah. Hopefully mid-March. I'm in the process of editing it. I'm waiting for some footage to get to me, just so I can like fully sit down and edit. But we will see. It's the one downside of doing escape rooms is I do my escape rooms differently to where I'm not just using my perspective. I use everyone else's perspective, especially for this one. I have to use everyone else's perspective because for my POV, you can't see anything. It is just darkness. It is pitch black. So my POV will only be just a little bit of me when I see light sources or there is a way to show my POV. But everything else will be from the two different groups that ran through it. It is two sets of duos. So there will be a little bit of my POV. Not a lot. Just a little bit when it's funny jump scare moments. And if I'm chasing after someone. So it is just gonna be a lot of cutting back and forth between two different timers for two different groups. What is this? I have never done this parkour yet. This is cool. It was Owen Luan as one duo, and then I put Legs and Jaw together as the other duo. Now, of course, it's going to be cut down, so you're not going to see every single bit. You're not going to see every, like, 52 minutes of run that Legs and Jaw did. So I'm hoping I can get the video within, like, in total, like, 40-ish minutes around there. That's my goal. But we will see. Was it in Legs? I don't remember. $50 stream streak W. Keep jumping wrong. You jump there to there. I then need to do that. There we go. Suffering. I did have one of my original ideas was to do Scott and Cam together to run through it, but just bad timing because Cam. It was when I was asking. Cam was skiing when Scott was available, and then Scott was out at Blizzard for the whole Overwatch stuff. So just bad timing, unfortunately. A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F, and there we go. Cool. You know, I do have a fun idea for another YouTube video. It's going to be a bit more simple. But I think it'll be fun. Don't know when I'm going to do this, but I have a video idea where basically y'all have seen the concept of you say a like category and then you try to both say the same thing, right? Yeah, so that, but like reading minds, yes, like a reading mind thing, but a bit different. Right? So ultimately, the goal would be that you don't pick the same thing. Between all your buddies. It would be interesting. It would definitely be interesting. I saw a Pokemon right after you talked about it. Was it with Pokemon with one of the creators being Game Boy Luke? Because that's where I got this concept from. It was him and 3 others. But maybe, yeah. Basically, they were like, all right, pick an electric type Pokemon. And it started with picking any type of electric type Pokemon. And the goal is you don't want to pick the same one as the host. And so the players have to pick differently. But the thing is, what you can do is you can make it harder and harder with more specific categories. So the goal is like to read the host's mind to think what the host will pick, but you want to pick the opposite of what they're going to pick. I think that's all of them, though. Yippee, eat them all. Alright. Now on to some building. Building time, chat. Building time. Oh, got a message. And here we are. Well, I am still in zoomed mode. Here we are, back again on like.gg. So yeah, basically, all we gotta do now, chat, is take some grass, take some tall grass, get some bone meal, and go around this entire area and like throw these in here, remove some of them, and just get it done. So, like, just foliage. Yeah, just a lot of foliage around. And also some moss blocks. And a bit of, like, some ferns and so on and so forth. And just kind of make it a bit more, a bit more spread out. Okay, so tall grass does not want to be tall grass. Good to know. Yeah, we're just going to do that. We're just going to space out the foliage placement. April, reset for 25 months now. Just a little over 2 years. That's crazy. Yeah, just doing something like that. And again, don't need to do everything consistently, but make it enough, I would say. This will take a bit of time, but I think that's okay. April has a cold. That's rough. Unfortunate to hear. I hope you feel better, April. I'm just congestion and a cough. Yeah, it's still no fun, though. Oh, yeah. That looks really good. Downsides, I just need to remove all of these spore eye blossoms. All right, cool. We don't need to have too many on the outer edges here, like around the facility, because more likely than not, they would probably remove some of them. Right, like they'd probably clean up this area a little bit. We can still have some, but probably like take out the tall grass here and there and not have it like everywhere. And just go from there. Yeah, alright. That's good there. Cool. It really is just so many. I understand we're in a paleoc biome, but like, my goodness. Don't understand why the game just spawns all these. Like, we could have just made this way easier for ourselves. Sorry, chat. Doesn't spawn flowers? I would say desert, but now with the cactus flower, not really. Uh, maybe just snow. Maybe just like pure snow biome with no grass. So many eye blossom flowers. Ice spikes too, yeah. But this looks great though. Like, having all this overgrown foliage out here and then just a few leaves just scattered does like make this place feel a lot more lively. Now, I'm gonna keep some areas with the spore blossoms as is. But thin them out a little bit just because you don't want too many. What are you building? I'm doing foliage right now for a build in Lagundo's Extraction. So that's what we are doing right now at the moment. And it's going to be a lot of foliage. Like, my... My goodness, my goodness. Where's... It's just so much flat land. And I'm like, why is there so much flat land? Brainer today, that is fine. Like, I want to make this place feel dense, occupied, and crowded all over the place. Like, that is my goal with this area. Overgrown, very gray, absolutely. See, chat, you guys understand. Y'all understand the thought process. But like, see, that looks so good. Like, this feels just overgrown all over the place. Not worrying too much about the green. These things I'm not that big of a concern of. But like, look, this flat, barren, nothing around, right? Like, there's just some stuff here and there. Nothing too great. I want to remove all the color from the plants. Like, remove all the color from the plant life here. And fill in these holes. Or do this just so no mobs spawn in here. Because whoever decided to build these, I think this was from the old build thing, decided to just build them without understanding that mobs will spawn here. Which makes it really annoying. A cartoon would say. Or remove all the color from here? Yeah. I'm gonna keep the green here just to give at least some color, just some variation. But like everything in here is gray and like decayed and dead. But like look at this, right? You fly over here. It's all flat. There's like nothing here. But then when you look, like all flat. But then when you just come over here and look like right over here, look at this. it feels way more like overgrown and like it's been multiple years or months since this place has been like civilized. But if you just run over here a little bit, you're like, okay, well, there's nothing here now. And so that's why I'm like trying. Why is there bats? Oh, it's just. Oh, huh. Because there's just holes here. Because however it was terraformed didn't do a good job. Chat, I'm killing the bats. Oh, one's getting suffocated. See, the thing is, we need to fill up these holes because if a player randomly like ender pearls or something, or just somehow accidentally gets stuck down here because like of unknown reason, then it gets ticketed and it's a whole other thing, and so that's why it's like we gotta fill these in. And so unfortunately the bats can't be in here. Okay, cool. Anyways, back to this. Oh, where was I? Over here. Oh. Camapolia, thank you for the reset for 6 months at tier 1 now. With a total of 4 so far. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Apparently flowers don't spawn in the... Actually, yeah, flowers would not spawn in the nether. Mushrooms do, but flowers don't. Go, there we go. There we go, there we go. Up, up, up. Okay. Let me keep doing this then. Honestly, what if we replace these with this? And doing a bit of moss. Just lower the greenery down a little bit around here. Because I don't think there's anywhere else with, like, greenery. No. There literally is not. But yeah, chat, you see, we are only working here so far. Like, we've only had this area right now. We've only worked on this. We still gotta do all that back there, and then everything else. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of work, that's for sure, yeah. So, like, it's not gonna get done today, that's for sure. But we can put in, like, an hour or so into this to just work on getting this done, I think. Or at least getting a quarter of it done, give or take. Luckily, we're not trying to cover every single grass block with leaves and grass. We're just trying to get just most of it. We can have some spore eye blossoms here and there, we just don't want a lot. So, like, over here is fine, because the foliage kind of mixes in with each other, so that's okay. We do want a break point, where some of the grass does, like, cut into it. But I do want Oh, they're oak leaves. Where's the oak leaves? You probably can put in some oak leaves around as well, I think. Oh, not pale oak, just normal oak leaves. Because of the coloring. Kind of mix it up a little bit. Still get that, like, decayed feeling. Especially when you add some grass around it. Yeah, because all these are pale oak. I don't know. I want to see something. I need to check. Again, whoever did these rocks, it just did not fill it in. Like, there you go. Better. And then here will probably be a bit more sparse. But beyond, like, the factory and facility areas, it would get more dense foliage. If you bone meal grass, but it seems to happen in every biome. Oh, interesting. I did not know that. Yeah, literally just throwing, like, down a random piece of moss and just letting it do the rest for me kind of is the play. Like, we just do that, and we can just have these big patches of moss everywhere. It kind of reminds me, um, you know when spiders, like, I make really big webs, and, like, just entire areas covered in spider webs, and it's like all this, like, whitish gray to it. That's what this kind of reminds me of. Like the moss blocks are like the massive, just spider webbed areas. Don't look that up, chat, please. Yeah, I'm trying to remove as much green from this area. And there. Oh. Okay, cool. That just looks so good. Why do you have to wear a suit? Professionalism. Take a little bit of inspo from you can look at it from different characters. We are almost done with this project. Oh, that's cool. And again, I don't want anything clean in the sense of what I'm building. I want it to be feel very organic like. So have connection points, have different parts that feel like, why is that so overgrown? He has broad shoulders. Also, I haven't been reading chat as much recently right now just because I've been so locked in on this. So sorry if I missed any messages. Like, that looks so good. Replacing all the, what's it called? Eye blossoms with ferns. Wait, aren't there tall ferns? There are large ferns. Yes, I can also replace them with large ferns as well. Hold on, I gotta go back through real quick and just spread these around. Spread some large ferns where small ferns are. We'll do less large, or like not have as many, just because they do block more area. They aren't as airy in their like texture, because they do block more than what leaves do. We're just having a few of them just scattered around next to some other ferns kind of helps break it up even more. Oh yeah, that's nice. Running through this, getting chased by creaking and players is going to feel crazy for players. Oh yeah, there's gonna be a creaking. There's going to be creaking that can go through the water fairly quickly. So these big pools of water that a player try to swim through getting chased by creaking, creaking will not have a be slowed down by the water. So yeah. It's gonna be so much fun. That much damage, it's not that bad. It can be coded until they hurt harder and more. If Legs really wanted to, he could. Why is it in the middle of the artwork? Because I wanted it to be. That was my request. Was that it be placed there. As like he's pulling the glove down over his hand. This is good. This is real good. just so many of these little eye blossoms that just don't leave. Okay. Probably put some leaves here. I'm just trying to fill in the space. I'm just trying to make it to where like you do not want to just walk in here all willy like all easily. Like that's my entire goal right now is to basically be like, yeah, I don't want to walk over here because it's scary. The Guardian, yeah. We need to do a playtest of this world as well. So that's going to be happening. As you'll see some playtests possibly on stream of us actually running extraction, seeing how everything feels. Which it should be fun. Of course that would happen. But the loot. There will be loot. It's just, it would be a creator-based playtest. See how everything feels, see how if some things are too difficult. Just that type of stuff. I feel like it's the correct thing to do when releasing a game like this, especially for a season 2, because you want to make sure everything feels right. Right now I'm just going to go on the sides and just go up and around up to... How far is this? Probably up to that tree. So let me first... do all this. I'll go back through and break all the eye blossoms, but for now I just want to... get what I can, and then... place what should be placed around. Actually crazy how many of these side blossoms spawn. It's gonna take a while to abolish proof everything. I mean, yeah, but that's the whole point why we test it. Like, going through this entire thing, I think out of every part of the maps, this one is going to be feel one of the most dense in foliage. Just because of how much grass and leaves and everything else is scattered on the floor. And all of it's traversable. Like, you're not going to get stuck anywhere. All this is just having the ability for blocking line of sight, but not too much. And everything just feeling super dense. And again, just throwing leaves, grass, some ferns here and there. And then just slapping a few moss blocks on the floor. I'm just swing my sword through the grass. Yep, it's gonna be great. That's why not everything's supposed to be covered. That's why I'm still leaving some areas open enough to where not every single block has grass on it. But it's gonna be something, Cactus. It's definitely gonna be something. I'm also removing as much color so everything is just primarily just grays. Gotta love 2-block grass hip. Exactly. That's why I'm throwing it just scattered. But still making it feel open. I think what's really cool is I can do this, right? And then I can right-click the bone meal or on the moss with it. And then it kind of doesn't make everything around it moss. But my goodness, is it... It's something, that's for sure. Go by the smallest magma cube. Exactly. Like, I want this place to feel dangerous. I want this place to be like, you can't see anything, especially when it is dark out. You want to run with a torch in here. Like, that is my goal for this. Like, you want to run this, go for it, but definitely not the smartest thing. My goodness, this is gonna be crazy. But look how much of a difference this feels, right? Like, you run through all this, you're in, like, this whole spot area, right? And all you're just seeing is just grass and shrubbery and a bunch of other, like, movement. Getting chased around here by, like, a creaking, terrifying. Creaking's gonna blend into this so well. You can use dynamic lighting, that's fine, yeah. And just accidentally running into something. Or not seeing a skeleton in a bush and you just get shot with an arrow. And it's... You don't want to be here and it's kind of dangerous, but you can obtain really good loot. Exactly. See, this is the whole process of it. This whole upper region, from this corner all the way down to where the underwater lab is. From underwater lab, terminal, sky islands, the meteor section, all the way over to here, in the Pale Oak, is supposed to be like high tier, dangerous quadrant. And so, like, there are still going to be areas that you can survive in and run through, and that's all fine. I'm just trying to make it feel densely populated, like it's telling a story. That is my goal, to make this place feel overgrown and misplaced. Because, like, you can see stuff clearly. Like, there are areas perfectly fine. But if we compare, right, we compare this to what I just did so far. Of just how this looks from just this perspective here with the foliage, right? Just this, there needs to be more foliage here. Hold on. Let me put some ferns down, some big ferns. There we go. But, like, we look at this, right? You run through here at night. Do I can't change it to night. Oh, no, it claims that this. /midnight. This is what you're running through. Right. When it gets night in here, this is what you're running through. You throw in a torch. Hold on, I don't have shaders on. I'm gonna have the spooky shaders on for this. This is a spooky elementary. Midnight. This with spooky elementary shaders on. I want it to feel immersive. Right. Like, you know how scary it is that I thought, genuinely, that right there, I thought was... It looks like a face with two eyes. That is just a soul lantern over a chest. That is just a soul lantern over a chest. But because of how the block is placed and where the angle is you can look at. So yeah, running through this with these shaders on. If you want to have a spooky time in here, spooky elementary. Now, if we change the shaders to like a lot of people run complimentary reimagine, right? This shader. I still want it to feel spooky. Like, I'm taking a screenshot of that. I'm throwing that into the Discord. Like, this is the vibe that I want to go for. I want to go for this overdensed grown with just a few spore blossoms here and there that, like... Like, this is what I'm trying to go for. Because, like, look, right? If we fly over here, underwater, it's because we're in a pale oak. It's the biome. Right? If we go over here, we're in a swamp biome. Let's say we then run to the pale garden. Look how flat it feels. Like, some areas need to have flatness to it, but like, look at this. It doesn't feel as spooky. It doesn't feel as, like, yeah, it's like there's plants, there's some foliage, but like all these open gaps, it doesn't give that like full immersion spooky vibes. We've been adding this stuff into it. But all this openness, all like the opened area, like over here, like look how flat it is over here. Look how flat and no foliage, nothing around here. Right? But then when you just add a bit of foliage, we just add some foliage into this, and you get dropped into this now. The grass blocking the line of sight, it feels like this has, like, no one's been here in such a long time. And if you can remove some of the spore blossoms, aka these guys need to actually grow, but they aren't because of how it is. This is why I wanted to have some, and that's why, like, at this lab, it's gonna have some overgrownness to it, but not as much, because like people were here at one point. So like it's gonna be like shorter grass and everything, but everything else out here, all of this can look like something standing from a distance from afar. Exactly. That's why I genuinely thought, because of how the shading is and everything, running through this and just seeing the soul lantern above the chest at a certain angle, that, even from here, looks like a pair of two eyes. Just like there's some special, like, custom mob or something that just looks from afar. Very Herobrine-esque, yeah. And then if you really want to get spooky, we put on Spooky Elementary. And then we go into full horror mode. Full on horror mode. Like, it's just full darkness. Actually, what does the other shaders look like with this? We get Solus shaders. How does Solus look at night? Solus is kind of, it keeps the darkness factor, but it doesn't have that like fog as much. Still definitely spooky though. Yeah, Solus with these shaders. The light sources are a lot brighter. That is for sure. And then we're switching the Pegasus. Get ready for 19 frames, chat. It's so weird. I don't think Pegasus is optimized for this. For night, especially, I think it's an older mod. So certain light and resources don't work with it. But it could if they just optimized it better. How does Bliss look? Ooh, Bliss has a bit more of like a Witcher vibe to it. And then lastly, sorry, that was BSL. This is Bliss. Ooh, and then Bliss goes full blue. Bliss has a full like blue theme to it. Ooh, yeah. I do think overall complimentary is like probably the best to keep it bright enough, but also have that very spooky, eerie vibe. But yeah, look at that. Bliss looks very dreamlike. Yep. Very possible shader. I honestly think Near the Veil, thank you for the resub with Prime for 4 months now. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, this is really nice. And then we go back to no shaders. And then we just have, again, I want it to feel spooky, even without shaders on. So, cool. All right, chat. But for now, though, we've covered, like, not a corner, but we've gotten, like, from where? Here, down, and then up. So we kind of got a little bit of this going on so far. We still need to get all the backside over there, all of this over here, all that up there. And it will take some time. But for now, I think we're going to call it there for today. We are going to end off stream as we do with which one was it? This one. With some Bell. You know what, chat? We're also gonna use this music. We're gonna have this music. It's a little bit shorter than the other song, but I think it'll be fun. This is just a fun song. Alright, chat, for those who don't know and that are new here, this is Technoblade's Sellout Bell, and what we do, usually at the end of every stream, or when we feel like doing it between streams, is that we will do a fun little bell rave to keep that tradition alive. You do not have to give bits or subs or do anything like that. The entirety of this thing is just to spam bell and one of us in chat, and just have fun with it. Now, I'm going to do the whole Prime spiel. You do not have to give a Prime. If you do, I appreciate it, but of course, you do not have to. This is just for fun. Also, yeah, the Bob Natural Generation thing back there. But anyways, chat, get ready for the finish off stream with some Sellout Bell. Actually, hold on. I'm going to turn this up real quick. Turn it up for both of us real quickly. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time for the Sellout Bell. You know what that means? If you have a Prime sub, it means you have Amazon Prime. What is Amazon Prime? Basically, you have a free Prime sub, and you can give to any of your favorite Twitch streamers to get a 1 month free of a sub. It can be me, it can be anyone. But with that being said, chat, I want to see y'all be spamming bell. I want to see y'all be spamming one of us. It is time for the Sellout Bell. Bell, 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 bell. Day breaking stream, thank you for the 100 bits, I appreciate it. Well, like what you're seeing there with Nerdy is saying, you already paid for Amazon Prime, so why not use that Prime sub here or somewhere else? Because you're basically wasting free money, chat. It's free money. So why not? One of us, one of us, one of us, one of us, one of us. Bell, 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 bell. Nameless, thank you for the community gifts. I appreciate it. Bell, 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 bell. I want to see y'all be spamming one of us. I want to see y'all be spamming bell, because it is that time for the Sellout Bell chat. We are about halfway done with this little fun rave that we do. So once again, if you want a gift, if you want to donate fully freely, but you don't have to. But I want to see y'all be spamming bell. I want to see y'all be spamming one of us chat, because it's time. One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us. One of us, 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 one of us. Bell, 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 bell. Chorus Corner, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. Bell, 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 bell. Sick. Believe nerdy. And there you go, chat. Fun little bit. Fun little bit. It's very hard to find music that goes with the beat of what we are raving to. That's always why Push Your Harder is really good. It's 140 BPM. And it's a very good song. That's why we usually do that one. But I wanted to try something a little bit different with the bit genre music that we are listening to today. But thank you all again. We're going to raid into someone, and we're going to call it there. So let's see, chat. Who do you want to rave into is the question. Who do you rave into? Let's see. You know who we haven't raided to in a while? Ren Dog. And Ren is also building. So, y'all can go enjoy a fun little bit of Ren Dog stream building on Hermitcraft. So thank you all again, chat. Joining on the raid. You can leave right on after if you need to. But I appreciate you all being here. It's been absolutely fun and wonderful to hang out with y'all today. I will see you all on Wednesday. We'll probably continue building, because we got to get a lot of that foliage done, and it's kind of just nice to have chill streams. But as always, chat, you all have been awesome, amazing, and wonderful. And as always, abolish your regret. I will see you all next time.